And it's live. James and Robbie on AFTV.
How you doing, man? You good?
Yeah, Robbie, let's just take a second. Let's actually just take a second here. 10 wins, 1 draw, 1 defeat out of 12 games. Only one team, I know we're going to finish 5th now, I'm saying this. Only one team has got to 31 points at this stage of a season and not won the league out of about 9 or 10 of them.
And that team was?
Newcastle.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't us. A couple of weeks ago, though, there was a similar record. It was us. We are playing brilliant football. Okay, there was a bit of a lull, but we're over that. We'll move past that now.
But even in the lull, we didn't lose, apart from in the Premier League. Exactly.
We're top of the league. We're 2 points clear of City. We're scoring lots of goals. We're 30 goals already this season, you know. Do you know what that projection is if we keep up this rate across the whole season? 95 goals.
Wow.
Do you know what the projection is if we continue this points per game to the end of the season?
95 points?
98 points.
Wow.
Now, I'm not saying we're going to get 95 points and 98 goals. 98 points and 95 goals.
No, we won't.
Because that would be unbelievable. But what it does show is that we are playing at a level that we were admiring. Maybe not quite there, but way nearer than we've ever been, a level that we've admired City and Liverpool for being at these last 4 or 5 years. And it feels really good. I mean, how can we not be happy?
No, listen, every Monday when we do this show, now, you know, I'm just coming in here, smile on my face. And the thing about Arsenal at the moment is we are good. We are a very good side. There is no denying that. It's like, so that's why I'm going into games now so confident.
Yeah.
Yesterday's game, I know that obviously Nottingham Forest, you know, they beat Liverpool last week. They were outstanding in that game. I watched the game live. They were outstanding. But I was very confident we would win the game because I'm like, they're coming to the Emirates. We're unbeaten at home this season. It's been a bit of a fortress. And we are a good side. And I'm like, we will smoke Nottingham Forest. If, you know, I'm convinced of that. I would be very, very disappointed if we don't because we're such a good side.
Yep.
A lot of times over the years, I've looked on it and I've thought to myself, I don't know, man. I think we'll win that one, but this, but that. Now I'm looking at a lot of games like Chelsea this weekend.
Yeah.
And this is not of no arrogance whatsoever. I saw Matisse earlier and I was saying this to him. If the best Arsenal turns up that we've seen this season and the best Chelsea turns up, I think we win. I think we're a better side than Chelsea right at this moment in time. You can look at, you can go down the Chelsea lineup and you can point to great players they've got. They've got an unbelievable squad.
Yep.
They've got a better squad than us.
Spent, 200 million in the summer?
Right, and individuals, they've got great individuals. But if you look
300.
at the actual two teams and you said, right, you play your best and we play our best. Right now, our best this season has been way better than their best. Right? So I feel if we turn up at Stamford Bridge, I don't think we'll lose that game. All right, it's always a tough place to go to, but I don't think we'll lose. So I'm so infused about this team because it's a very, very good side.
Yeah.
That is the thing this time round.
It is, and when we went through that lull in the second half of October, because it started on fire, didn't it? You know, the 1st of October, we put 3 past Tottenham, we won 3-1, ended their unbeaten start to the Premier League campaign. Then it's can we get over the Klopp hurdle, the Liverpool hurdle? Even when we've been good, they've not been great. They've still been able to come to the Emirates and get wins. But we win that 3-2. We played brilliantly. We absolutely deserved it. And then you hit that little bit of a lull with Leeds. Were we lucky? Were we not? Southampton. Are we tiring? Was Tomiyasu left back wrong? Is the team being overplayed? Is Arteta getting his squad rotation right? These were tricky places to go, and there were tricky fixtures and a tricky fixture congestion. So Forest at home on a Sunday was a good opportunity for Arsenal to just say, listen, there's context to those performances and results. We're going to flex our muscles here, and they did.
Yeah, and how many times have people seen like games? Oh, it's an early kickoff Sunday. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You know, we saw games like there were teams like that we even played last year. Like I remember when we played Burnley, and we had that horrible 0-0 draw.
Yeah.
Against Burnley at home. You know, I think we're a different side now. We're a totally different side, and that's because it's a good side. It's good players in there, man. I mean, Gabriel Jesus is a top player. You know what I mean? William Saliba is, for me, we were talking about this earlier, and I feel that right now William Saliba is the best centre-back in the league as things stand. I'm not saying he's better than Van Dijk. I'm saying this season, somebody tell me who's been a better centre-back this season so far than William Saliba. When was the last time we've been able to speak about some of our players like that? Thomas Partey is one of the best holding midfielders in this league right now. Ben White, I feel at this moment in time, is the best right back in the league at the moment. Not saying again, you know what I mean, but he's been outstanding.
Martinez has been amazing, Robbie, says DNYG.
Martinez has been good, but I think Saliba's been better. Saliba's been more consistent than him. You know what I mean? Saliba is one of the reasons why we've only lost one game this season, right? You know what I mean? Martinez was playing when they got hammered 4-0 at Brentford. He's improved a lot since then, you know what I mean? And he's new to the league, but so is Saliba, new to the league. Remember, it's the first time Saliba's been playing for Arsenal. So Martinez has been good, but for me, the best centre-back in the league this season has been Saliba. And somebody please tell me different. Probably Martinez is the closest.
That's a great... I mean, Thiago Silva's in and out. Van Dijk's been horrible this season. Like, awful. If you obviously go subscribe to DR Sports, where Matisse and I do Talking Tactics, and we had to speak about Van Dijk and that horrific defending. Did you see it on the league?
Yeah, I saw it. I mean, he was caught on his heels, wasn't he? He was both goals. He was at four.
Story of his season.
Yeah, listen, it's hard. You know what? I do also though say with Van Dijk that he's been at the top of the game for years and years and years and years. So it's in no way to disrespect that guy because he's an unbelievable centre back. He's just going for a bit of a tough time at the moment. But that's what I'm saying. At the moment, I'm not getting arrogant above my place, right? I'm not saying Saliba's better than Van Dijk because he's not. But what I'm saying is that at this moment in time, the best centre-back in the league, for me, is William Saliba.
On current form, William Saliba, I'd say it's Gabriel. Listen, I think they've both been superb.
Samit here says Fabian Schär has been fantastic for Newcastle.
Yeah.
They've also conceded the least amount of goals. He has been good, very good, Schär. And also... Sven Botman as well. Yep. Been good. But I still put Saliba above them. But Schär has been good. But, they've also lost a couple of... how many games? They lost one game.
Newcastle. Just one.
But Saliba's been brilliant. Salou says Akanji from City. He has done very well, Akanji. Right? A lot of teams slept on him. Who's this guy, Daffy? What about Eric Dyer? Well, I see you're busting jokes now. So now, obviously...
you know what goes under the radar? I was at the Forest game, as were you. And when you watch live, there's something like... Obviously, you can. There's actually a lot I get from watching on TV that I don't get from watching in the ground. But one thing I do get from being at the ground is... Because you can see the whole pitch at once. Especially the view we've got. When Arsenal are playing their football in the attacking corner and it's all great, there's a little part of you that is kind of aware of the amount of space that's behind, that one or two passes and maybe a team can exploit that and punish you. So Saliba and Gabriel, it's not like if we're attacking we look like we might score, that they're sort of chilling at the back like, go score please, have fun, we're good. No, they've got to be constantly switched on to win the ball back, to maintain the press, and if the ball goes over the top, to actually be able to track the runner and deal with him. The amount of times Saliba does that thing where if you're the attacking striker, I'm Saliba, it's just a little arm, but he's not pushing him, it's just a little stay away from me, arm's length, then he deals with it. And when you watch it from that perspective, and you realise quite how much space there is for opposition teams to exploit, that's why you kind of have to credit Man United for the way they did exploit that when we went to Old Trafford. But Gabriel and Saliba are getting even better. They seem to be at their best when Arsenal are on top because they sweep up so well. And I agree, they're both immense. Gabriel, apart from that one pass into the penalty area, was superb yesterday.
How good is Saliba from set pieces as well? How many goals have we conceded from set pieces? He's been excellent. I mean, I know a lot of people in there mentioning it's kind of got a different direction. I love it does this, but people are suggesting other defenders. Lewis Dunks, he's been good. Can't forget about Ruben Diaz, says David Varga. Of course not. He's been quality. But right now, Saliba, as name says, Saliba is just so fast and quick. He's underrated. He's fast, he's quick, he's strong, he's young, he's athletic.
Superb.
And he reads the game brilliantly. And at this moment, and so look around Arsenal's team. There's another thing I was saying about Arsenal, right? Remember Arsenal used to be a team that could get bullied a lot. Loads of games, we got bullied today. This team don't get bullied.
No.
It's a much bigger team than we've had in the past. We've got genuine defenders at the back. So you look at the back four, right? You've got Ben White, who's really a centre back, but he's excelling as a right back.
Yeah.
So I'll call him a right back right now.
Yeah.
But he's a big guy. He's strong. He's quick.
Yeah.
Saliba, just described him. Gabriel, very combative. And then yesterday you had Tomiyasu in there as well. Another combative. I thought he had a great game yesterday.
Yeah.
Another combative, hardcore, no-nonsense defender.
Yeah.
That's a very difficult defence to get past.
Yeah.
It is a difficult defence to get past. Then just sat in front of them, Thomas Partey, another guy who's got a real presence about him. Next to him, Granit Xhaka, another guy who's got a lot of presence about him. You ain't bullying them.
No, it's true.
You ain't bullying that team no more. So that's changed.
Yeah.
Then you move to up front, right? We spoke about this, I think, the last time he was on, when I said that when you look at the dribbling stats for Arsenal, last season we were 17th out of 20 teams. It's me doing it. Look, I'm giving all the stats here right now. But last year we were 17th out of 20 teams. This season we're first, right? On one wing, Martinelli running at players, frightening them. On the other wing, Saka, when he's not in, kicked to smithereens, running at players, frightening them down the other wing, and they both got end product. And then Gabriel Jesus down the middle, also the most foul player in the Premier League, running up. But that's changed. Last season, we didn't have that. It was more, try and get the ball in behind for Aubameyang. If we could do that, we know he can finish. But you've got to try. He's not really a dribbler. You've got to get the ball in behind. Even Chelsea is sort of finding that out now, isn't it? If you get the ball, put the ball in an area for Aubameyang, devastating. But he's not going to run at defences. He's not that guy. Lacazette doesn't run, could hold the ball up brilliantly, but not going to turn and run at players and frighten them in the way that Jesus done. So that whole dynamic has changed about us up front. And then, you bring into it the form of somebody like Granit Xhaka and the way he's just been marauding up and down the pitch. It's been absolutely outstanding. So it's no fluke to what's been happening. And that's why I'm so confident at the moment. We've just got a very, very good side. Well, hence why everyone's just trying to kick us every time we get the ball.
Yeah, we've got to talk about that. Jack Morlock, Chelsea fan, clearly says, you got bullied against Man United. Jack, we lost the game.
No, we didn't get bullied against... Come on, be sensible.
I don't think you watched that game.
How did we get bullied against Man United? We didn't get bullied against Man United.
Fergus says, I now have the white version of what James is wearing. Right. Odegaard. Great goal on the weekend, by the way.
And I've just been talking about him.
Yeah.
Saliba.
Oh yeah, you got Saliba on. Yeah, that's nice. Do you know what? I got that. You stay there one sec. I got that in pink over there. Look at this.
You got it in pink?
Yeah, it's really nice. Got a few bits here.
I like that.
Look at that. Saliba.
Oh yeah, that looks nice.
It's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, that's cool.
Got the pink one, and which one's this? I want to say it's Saka. Yes.
Oh yeah, it's Saka. Little chilly.
There we go.
Little chilly. Let's talk about that. You know what? Let's talk about that. Yeah, because it's little chilly and he's been on fire. Right, and he's so hard to deal with, and Martinelli on the other wing, and Gabriel Jesus. Seems to be that the teams have come up with a method of stopping them, namely kick them to smithereens, kick them to pieces. Yeah. We saw it yesterday. There was two. There was I think it was Lodi. He put the first foul on, which was, I thought that was a yellow card.
Yeah. All
right, fair enough. I know the referee might say to himself, "Well, it's early in the game." All right. But he didn't really warn him or nothing. He just sort of, And then the next one, another bad foul, and then next minute, Saka now is off the pitch. You know what I mean? And out of the game. You know what I mean? So you know, it was these players we got playing up front, they need protection.
Yeah,
they're not getting protected by the referees. I've been seeing it now in far too many games. Saka, Martinelli, Jesus, those three in particular, they get kicked every game. At Southampton, it was ridiculous.
Yeah,
they were getting kicked left, right, and centre, grabbed up. But I mean, I know you've got to protect these skillful players. It used to be the same thing they used to say about Jack Grealish, isn't it? Because he's always dribbling and taking people on, always gets kicked, always gets fouled. And these are the sort of players that people pay their money to go and see because they're so entertaining. So there's got to be a level of protection for these type of players.
There has to be. I think what we know is that the Premier League and its referees made a conscious effort to move more towards physicality in the game, letting the game flow. But what I will say is, I do actually think it's made for a better game, a better watch. I do think we're seeing the fact that they're letting a little bit more go in terms of maybe coming together. It's like that, you know, that Ben White one yesterday when he went up against Awoniyi, and he just kind of, he didn't barge him, but it was just a nice show of strength, shoved him off the ball and carried on. That might have been given a foul a couple of years ago. I might have said no, overexertive, what's the word? Overexertion of full sweat, whatever the stupid terminology is. But I like that they're letting that go. They're letting a little bit more sort of happen between players. But there's certain things which is just kicking at ankles and taking players down, you know, just to, what do they say, like leave one on them. They need to be pulling out that yellow card sooner. I agree with you. Southampton was ridiculous. I saw a couple yellows in the Leeds game that just weren't given, just for no reason at all. But there is a difference between...
Saka got out down in that game as well.
There is a difference between a yellow card because, you know, the pull of the shirt. So someone's running towards goal, you pull them back and they're in the final third. That's one thing. That's kind of a tactical yellow, a tactical foul. But it's another when you're actually kind of genuinely... Saka 2-3 times a game is going down, kicked, hurt. Like, you know... And you cannot tell me that these players are making genuine attempts to win the ball in that situation. They're going in thinking, I'm probably not going to win it. But if it looks honest enough and I leave a little bit on him, then, you know, maybe I'll unsettle him a bit.
Yeah, I hear the thing what you're saying about, you know, players, you know, I like the fact that the referees are allowing a bit more physicality this season. That is good for the game. But however, I'm sorry, when someone's just getting hacked down, that's not bits of physicality, that's cheating, that's trying to hurt your fellow professional. If a player is just too good and he's getting past you like that and your only way of stopping him is to hack him down, that is a yellow card.
Yeah.
Right? That is a yellow card because the game is no longer it's not a level playing field, it's not fair. You're just basically saying, I can't stop this guy, the only way I can stop him is to chop him down, right?
Yeah.
Now, as I said, the one yesterday, he allowed him to get away with the first one. All right, fair enough. I know it's early in the game. The referee doesn't want to book people. All right, I hear that one, and I'm cool with that, right? But the second one, I'm sorry, you know. I remember when even going back to the Man United game, right? Someone mentioned the Man United game earlier. First, right at the start of the game, you know, Martinelli does Martinez. Right, getting past him, Martinez just chops him down. Didn't get a yellow card for it. What that basically says to a defender is, I've got another chance to chop him down before I will get a yellow. Because obviously the last thing sometimes some of these defenders want is a yellow card early in the game. Because then, all of a sudden now, they can't, you know, they've got to be very careful what they do or they know they'll get sent off. So now we're seeing a player up against another player that has to use his skill to stop that skillful player. Yeah. And that's what we want to see. I mean, Greg Livingstone is saying, but football is a contact sport. It is a contact sport, but it's not a sport where you run around kicking people on their ankles, chopping them down, like what I see happens to Saka and Martinelli and Jesus every single week.
Yeah.
That is not fair football. Those are fouls, and those should be, you know, as I said yesterday, I'm not even... being, you know, the first one he let it go, fair, cool. That second one, he didn't even get a yellow card for that. Yeah. And ultimately, Saka's off the pitch, could be out of the Chelsea game, could miss the World Cup.
Yeah.
Come on, give these players better protection.
I think the point is that don't confuse a more physical contact sport with fouling. And it's this thing that we seem to allow fouling as just like a part of the game, as like a tactic in the game. It's this weird thing where, I gave that example of, say Jesus is bearing down on goal and he gets his arm, he gets his arm pulled or his shirt pulled or whatever, and it's a tactical foul, right? They give it a yellow card. Or when a player kind of hacks at someone's ankle, like to try and stop them on the counter, they get a yellow card, right? For me, a yellow card's not enough. I think every single tackle in a football match should be with the intent to play the ball. Anything that isn't with an intent to play the ball, well, I think they should invent sin bins, but we'll go into that another day. But the point is, I don't think yellow cards enough for punishment. How can we live in a world where you can foul, but you never even meant to even try and get it right? I don't think, I understand it's a contact sport, but you actually got to think about what you're saying here. And I think we live in this football world where, as you said, you can kind of make one bad foul, you get away with the yellow. What's that message? It's you got one more, you're allowed to do one more. And I think we're all for aggression. What Ben White did with Awoniyi in the first half, was it first half? I think, yeah, that's excellent. A little bit extra, a little bit, and that will come the other way for us. That is fine. But it's when you're persistently fouling, you're not really trying to win the ball and you're getting away with it. I think that's got to be officiated
so
better.
this comment here from Timbo Family. Big up to Timbo Family. Thank you for your comment. He says, any dribbler in the world gets it. That's the reality. Watch Mbappe and watch Messi. Watch Messi. That's what happens to dribblers and Zaha. It's part of it. It used to be worse. Don't like this topic. It's the game. I'm sorry, it's not the game.
You just listed the greatest of all time and a generational talent as two examples.
We want these guys. We want Mbappe. We want, and they do. By the way, they get. I watch a lot of PSG games. They get way more protection than what you see for our front three at the moment. You know what I mean? There are teams that are going out right now, and their philosophy is just to hack down those skillful Arsenal players, right? And it's. Listen, there are teams, we know a lot of teams do this. They'll pass around the fouls. So one gets a yellow, the other one will be like, I've used up my, it's almost like I've used up my yellow now. Someone else has got to get him next time. Right, you've used up yours, someone else. That happens in football. Right? And when you're yes, you're right, Timbo Family, that when you're a dribbler and you're tricky and you use your tricks to get past players, yes, you get brought down more than probably an ordinary player. But be brought down because somebody has mistimed it or, But we're not talking about mistimed tackles here, right? Because obviously they're going to get fouled. They're so tricky. They're so skillful. They're going to get brought down sometimes. But I'm talking about deliberate fouls on players like Saka, like you just said there. Leave one on him, let him, so that he doesn't try to just dominate me like what I know he's going to do if I don't do it. That is cheating. That needs to be dealt with a yellow card, second yellow if it's persistent. You got to protect these players. We want to see these players in the game. I like watching players like Grealish in his pomp. Zaha, these guys who will take the ball and drive up play. I love watching players like that who take, that guy the other day, that Anthony at United. I'm not, my dislike of United, but I like watching him.
Sure.
I couldn't see what all the fuss was the other day when they're talking about the showboating thing. Listen, people pay their money to go and watch football. I want to be entertained by these type of skillful players. If all it's going to be is that as soon as they get on the ball, start taking someone on, someone just comes and hacks them down, deliberately, not a mistimed tackle. No, I don't want to see that. Protect these players. Give them protection.
I think the yellow card system and kind of what constitutes a yellow or doesn't is crazy to me. You can get a yellow card for accidentally tripping someone in the box. They get a penalty. You're on a yellow card. It's like, hold on, it was, you didn't mean to.
The ball hits your hand. You didn't mean to hit it.
Ball hits your hand. It's accidental. You get a yellow card. But you can hack someone. You can deliberately foul whatever. It's not a yellow card. And I'm with you. The rotational fouling is such a great point. And I want to say it was Villa Park last season. We won 1-0. But it was a very similar thing. It was Young who put the big tackle on Saka, then it was McGinn. Pretty sure it was Villa Park, if I'm remembering it right. But, that's it. We need Saka to get brought down, but we have to make sure that the 4 or 5 tackles come from about 3 different players. I've mentioned this before, and probably someone in the comments can explain to me why it's a dumb idea, but there should be yellow cards given for how many times a particular player has fouled as well. So if Saka's fouled twice, on that third, you go, right, McGinn, you're booked. He goes, it's my first. You go, it doesn't matter, because you're targeting.
Hold on, wait a minute, I'm not too sure about that one.
Why not?
So, hold on. Explain that again.
So imagine, I've used Villa, imagine the left back fouls Saka, right? And they don't give it, they just give a foul. And then the centre back fouls Saka, they don't give it. But then the centre midfielder fouls Saka, and they give that central midfielder a yellow because it's the third foul on Saka. Why not? Wouldn't that encourage people to stop targeting players?
Yeah, but you would get a yellow card anyway, wouldn't you?
No, but as in, so for persistent fouling. So it's not necessarily yellow card tackle, but because Saka's been persistently fouled, it's the team that's punished.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't think it'll ever come in.
It'd be very difficult to enforce
it's
that.
It's unfair, potentially, on the player, but it's not unfair on the team.
Yeah, but teams do pass around the fouls. They do. They pass around the fouls. And as I said, I'm just getting a bit annoyed now. Saka yesterday was definitely targeted and was just basically taken out of the game. And as I said, who knows now? I'm hoping and praying he's not going to be out for any long length of time. But I think he was deliberately targeted. He was just he was like, let's take this guy out, man. We can't deal with him.
Yeah.
Martinelli, I've seen him get the same treatment. Jesus, I've seen him get the same treatment all season.
Yeah, well, Jesus, didn't you say he's the most fouled?
Jesus this season's the most foul player in the Premier League.
But look, I mean, this all bodes what. Okay, I know we're having a good old moan about it, and for everyone in the comments saying, "Oh, excuses, no excuses. We're winning. We won 5-0. We're top of the league. Life's good. There's nothing to do with excuses. What are we excusing? We're just.
This guy obviously Kieran says Saka needs to bulk up as well on his part. The best players
bulk up.
Always get doubled up on. Not just Arsenal.
Do you know how strong Bukayo Saka is? Do you know how strong he is?
That's one of the reasons why he gets hacked, because the thing is about him, he's strong, he's physical, he's quick, he's tricky. He's a very hard guy to deal with. So sometimes, man, it's just like, well, you know what, bloody hell, boom. I'm just chopping you, you know what I mean? He's got to get protection. We want to see, these players be protected. Name says prime example was Hazard at Chelsea. Remember, his dribbling skills are unbelievable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got to let these players play and not just be chopped down every time.
A lot of people are saying dumb idea, but they're not really explaining why. I understand it probably wouldn't. I understand they probably won't do that, right? Because as much as it's a team sport, a lot of things are. A goal scorer is a goal scorer, and stats are attributed to certain players. But my point is that we know rotational foul happens. Like we just know it. City are amazing at it, by the way.
They're another team.
They are superb.
They pass it around,
right? And it's part of what makes them, champions and brilliant. How they can manage these games so well, because they've got everything all the way down to who's getting booked. In their control.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, it's against the laws of the game, to persistently foul purposely and find loopholes to benefit from it. The team's fair play to them for doing it, but I think we've got to be a bit smarter. And it is players like Saka that will suffer, unfortunately.
JNE Edit says Saka needs to work on those legs, make it strong. He has got strong legs, and well done, Red Rain. He says you can't bulk up your ankles. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
When you get kicked on your ankle, that's
comment of the day so far.
Comment of the day. You can't bulk up your ankles. Trust me.
Yeah.
And
Saka's strong. I know we just said it, but Saka
strong as an ox.
Do you see how many times he just pins a player down, and he's going to spin inside, but they can't stop him doing it. He is strong. Don't for 1 second think this guy from the age of 18 came into the starting 11. He wasn't a left back. He played left back. Then he played left wing back. Then he played midfield. Now he's a right winger. He is tough physically and mentally. So he won't care about any of this. He'll just get on with it. But it's our due. I think we've got this platform, and when we're winning, especially.
Yeah, I'm talking about it, man. I don't care what no one says. I'm talking because I've been seeing this. It wasn't just yesterday. I've been watching it all season. Saka and Martinelli and Jesus are not being protected by the refs. And just in general, we've seen it a lot over the years. The skillful, tricky players, your Zahas, your Grealishes, these guys don't get enough protection. Those guys who like to dribble, get past players, chopped.
Dave Jordan says the alternative to letting the game flow is League One, where there have been 30 red cards compared to the Premier League when there have been less than 5. Is that right?
I think there has been a lot of red cards in the league, but I've not been able to see all the tackles. I do know that they offer more protection to their players. This guy here, Triskidic Phobia, says Zaha is the most foul player ever, and I've never heard anyone ask about him to be protected. When you're chatting rubbish there, I'm afraid. No disrespect, because time after time after time, Zaha himself says he needs more protection. His managers come out and said it. He needs more protection. Yeah. Sadiq says, what are you guys watching? Saka backs his body into his opponents like Harry Kane does, push them slightly in a subtle way to slide to the side. He wants them, and then he puts the pace on them. They can't stop him.
But Sadiq, you proved our point. He's really strong. I don't have a problem with that. I think the issue people have had with Harry Kane is when he backs into people when they're in the air. While I hate Tottenham, he's actually not done that for a while, to be fair to him. So, but I remember a year or two ago, that was kind of like a regular thing we saw over a particular part of the season. That's what people had an issue with. Backing your body, no one is saying don't be physical, don't be aggressive. People are saying be fair. If you're going in for a tackle, actually try and win that tackle. And referees should be better at understanding you didn't think you were going to win the ball there, and you got nowhere near it. So we're going to book you. I think that's all we're asking. There was a good comment here saying, Champar says, I get what James is saying, but wouldn't it just be simpler to educate the refs properly?
Well, yeah,
we're getting to the referee thing again.
The referees do need to be
thank you, Sadiq.
Stronger.
He says he's agreeing. Thank you, Sadiq.
I think the referees got to be stronger out here. You know what I mean? You got to protect the players, protect these players. You know what I mean? And as again, I'm just trying to make the point. I'm not talking about, there are fouls in games where somebody just mistimed it a bit, and you know what I mean? I get that.
Yeah.
Right? But there's other fouls where man's just saying, we're just going to deliberately chop this guy down. We can't handle him.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I don't like.
Martinelli gets fouled a fair bit.
He gets loads of, and Jesus.
Yeah.
But as I said, this season, Jesus the most foul player in the league according to the stats.
Arsenal are a team of dribblers. You got Ben White who overlaps. You've got Xhaka who's carrying the ball more than ever, and then you've got your Martinelli, Jesus, Saka, who all have to ball carry. They're going to get fouled. They're going to get hurt. We understand that. It's just about it being kind of, you see those early tackles in the game yesterday, and you think, how have they got away with that? How have they just completely and utterly got away with that?
Smooth One J says 5 to 10 minutes off the field for horrendous challenges. That's what.
I don't think this. Can I make my pitch for Sinbin?
Sinbin, yeah. Let me hear the Sinbin.
Right, here's my pitch. Right.
Let me hear the Sinbin thing.
Okay.
All right. I hope I love it more than the last one you just came up with about the cards. But yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Okay, that one I can understand why people might.
It's a bit complicated, a bit confusing.
Yeah, fair enough. And also, it would take for the referee to be very switched on, or maybe not. Anyway,
right. Sinbin.
So Sinbin, here's the idea. Okay, imagine Arsenal on the break. Jesus is running at goal. You got a 4-on-3, right? And then Casemiro just grabs his shirt, pulls him back
deliberately.
Foul. What's he going to get?
Takes one for the team.
What's he going to get? A yellow card.
Yellow.
But is that yellow card punishment enough for a 4-on-3 when Arsenal could have got a goal? Well, I don't know. Maybe a shot goes out for a corner. The point is, you're causing United. Something can come from that. And what does Casemiro get? A yellow card. What does he have to do? Just not foul for the rest of the game, right? It's not really fully adequate. But imagine you did a 5-minute sin bin. Even 10 minutes is probably quite long. But a 5-minute sin bin. So he gets a yellow card. He's taken one for the team. And for that 5 minutes of the game, it swings. The pendulum swings. And suddenly it's, okay, we've got 5 minutes now where we're a man up. Like, would that not be really exciting for the game? Imagine a team that defends for 90 minutes. They counter Man City, and Rodri gets a tactical foul yellow card. Rodri goes off, that team goes, for the next 5 minutes, we are playing against 10-man Man City. I think that'd be really good.
Could also bring in when people are wasting time. You know, sometimes when like people are wasting time.
Yeah.
Like goalkeepers and that, wasting time and that. Take him off.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? It could work, you know?
It could be fun.
Yeah, it could work. I don't mind that idea.
Thank you.
I don't mind the sin bin idea.
Everyone who's saying you'd think James is a stoner with the ideas he's coming up with, says DNYG. Mad Hatter says sin bin equals sin bad. It's not hockey, James. But guys, you're not. Like, just tell me why you don't like it. What would be wrong with it? This. So I put forward this, the rotational yellow cards, and the other one the other day. What was it? The VAR one. Challenges. Those are my
challenges to the VAR.
My three rules that will fix football.
Challenges to the VAR light, but it might slow the game down even more. That's the only thing. So I didn't mind that, you know.
Yeah. I'm going to leave you to the comments for 1 sec. I'll draw you. They're roasting. Kelvin
says James is officially American. Andrea says, don't give the rest more stuff to get wrong. And Alan Jones said, who made you judge and jury? The referee has an opinion on things, just like you. Just because he differs from you doesn't make him right or wrong. So that's one for you, James. Obviously, Kieran says, might as well take off 2 to 3 players throughout the game with that nonsense. TM101 says, man's gone wacky backy. However, you got one here. Toy Old Soul says, I actually like this idea, you know?
Okay, so, well, there's one.
You got one. You got one. I can't find many more at the moment. You committed a sin. Now you're in the bin, you fool.
Listen. Okay, I guess I'm
Matthew Newbury says the British attitude to fouling is out of the Stone Age. Skillful players are held in contempt as showboaters or fancy dans, asking to be taken down by muscular thuggery. I kind of see where he's coming from with that. You know, not many people feeling your sin bin idea, but I'm not. I don't mind. You know, he would need a lot of refining and that. But I think, you know, I mean, for certain things, you know what? For that one, because you're right. Someone's running through on goal.
Yeah.
He pulls him back deliberately.
Yeah. No attempt to play the ball.
Takes one for the team, gets a yellow. There should be a bit more to that.
Yeah. Yellow's not enough, is it?
Yeah.
It's just whatever. We'll hack them down, or we'll just pull their shirt. Doesn't matter.
In
Take
other
one
sports,
for the team. You see players do it, they go, all right,
in other sports, people make deliberate fouls. Like in basketball, you make a deliberate foul. Someone gets a couple of free throws.
Is that? Oh yeah.
Yeah, in basketball. So obviously you can't say just for a deliberate foul, you're going to make someone get a free kick at the goal or whatever. You know what I mean? Well, you get a free kick, but you know what I mean? A free hit, but. You could do something like that where, you know, the player ultimately pays quite a big price without taking him out of the game completely.
Daffy says, bring in orange cards, less than a yellow. 3
I've heard that one
oranges
before.
Equals a red. So, okay. So kind of like one foul, you get an orange. But then you're constantly pulling out cards.
I've heard the orange card for sort of what you're saying, the sin bin thing. Right. Where it's sort of that between a yellow and a red.
Yeah.
Where the foul's bad enough for that player to come off the pitch for a little bit, but not for the whole game.
Yeah. Listen, I think there's room for it. Gunning, I'll pitch it to Arsene Wenger at FIFA HQ. Gunning you down says, question for James. What happens when 3 guys from each team commits fouls in 4 to 5 minutes? Okay, that's a that's quite a specific situation, guys. I'm not saying a foul. Like, you know, you get a foul for you turn, you kind of catch them slightly, they go down. You know those quick ones. The ref goes, foul, and then they play. I'm talking. You've gone into someone, they're down, they're holding their ankle for a second. Whatever. I guess you could say it might encourage more diving and play acting to be like, oh, that one really hurt, so make sure they don't do that again to me. But I think we probably see that anyway.
Samatala says, do a 5-minute timeout like hockey and handball.
That's what I think.
No, man, 5-minute timeout.
Oh, timeout, not for the player. You mean?
Yeah, a 5-minute timeout. I don't understand.
Oh God, does he mean for the player or for the
American
teams? I tell you what, that could be fun. Here's my fourth idea to fix football. Imagine it gets to the 78th minute, and each team gets one timeout per game. So Arteta could be like, right, timeout, ref. I need my team for a minute. Little tactical tweaks, and out they go.
No,
that would be crap.
Now you turn into like American football and things like that.
That would be bad. I mean, it's funny to talk about. What are the rules? What about 2 goalkeepers?
Yeah, you're taking a piss now. I know he's not even being serious no more.
Why not?
Maybe, there's a load of super chats here. Let me get through some of them that we haven't read yet. Greg Livingstone says, my brother is a Tottenham Hotspur fan. Want to say that North London is red and will always be red. Well, he knows that. Texas Gunner. Now, this is one, again. This keeps coming up, this one.
Okay, go on.
It sounds like he must be a friend of Dan Potts. Mikel will never be forgiven if he gives KT to Pep.
Right.
Now, again, there was a lot of people moaning yesterday that Kieran Tierney didn't start the game. We all wanted him to start, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Sorry.
But I have to say, I thought Tomiyasu was brilliant yesterday.
Tomiyasu was
brilliant.
Absolutely immense. And
I keep saying it, Kieran Tierney needs to learn that, he may not start every week. Part of being a big club. And everybody just keeps, last year we were saying, protect him. Don't bring on Kieran. Why is Arteta bringing on Tierney for? Oh, what's he going to get injured? And now we're begging for him to start every game.
Yeah. And there'll always be one position in the team that everyone's questioning and debating and all that. And, I was one who wanted Tierney to start. And on the starting 11 show before the game, I gave my reasons why. But I also tried to maybe explore why Tomiyasu is in the team. And we saw it in that first goal. Arsenal have the ball. Xhaka loses it to Yates or something happens at that corner. I can't quite remember what. And as they try and play out, Tomiyasu's there immediately to win it back. Tierney can do that. I believe Tierney's a good enough defender and has the attributes to do it. But it also doesn't surprise me that Tomiyasu is seen as the better player for that role. Just to get in front, shield the defence. We talked about tactical insight. Go have a little watch of it if you can and support the show. Graham puts a lot of work into that. And, he would come out on top because you get the ball. Martinez to Saka back to Martinez, 1-0 up after 4 minutes. We've blown the way by pressing them high. That's what Tomiyasu gives you.
Yeah, watch Tactical Insight. They break it down for you. Niak says, I saw Ty in Amsterdam smoking on that Spurs pack. Oh man, I killed him this morning. Jason says that Ty slip up and Robbie with the I beg you pardon was the highlight of my morning. You guys have got to watch the Bias Premier League show. Where I tackled Ty about why he spent an extra day over in Holland, in Amsterdam, when the game was in Eindhoven. And watch to see how uncomfortable he gets when certain facts are thrown at him, and certain questions. It was absolutely...
Yeah, he was avoiding a few, wasn't he?
He was avoiding loads of...
I like this comment from Gunning You Down. Says, James's next idea, let's grab the ball and run towards the goal. Well... Now you mention it.
Jason says, Jason Monda says, I'm happy overall with how fit most of our players have been. Tomiyasu, Thomas, Gabby and Tierney have been fit for most of this season. So far, well, that's not even wood, is it? But touch wood, yeah?
On the floor.
Yeah, on the floor. There's a wooden floor. Touch wood, those players have been fit. Thomas Partey is looking fitter and fitter, and we're starting to see the Thomas Partey that we thought we were buying.
And he's not pulling out challenges. He's not holding back.
No.
He's
looking like...
Yesterday, it's very easy when you have 69% possession to appreciate everything Arsenal did really well on the ball, but you've got to get the off-the-ball stuff right. Partey was winning his duels in midfield. When he did lose it on the very rare occasion, he was immediately there to win it back. Constantly just kind of nicking it here and there. And then Gabriel and Saliba, as I mentioned, you can't press like that unless you've got two centre-backs you really rely on to sweep up behind you, and they did. The defensive side of the game was very good.
Yeah, Francis says running around and kicking players is not skill but a cheat code. Just because it was allowed in the past doesn't mean it's right to continue with it. How many careers were ruined because of this? That's a great point that you make there, Francis. Greg Livingstone says, but the problem with Anthony, he was showboating on 21 minutes in the game. Why would any player do that? Okay, if United were 3-0 up, and the pass he did after his showboating, the pass was shocking. The pass was shocking. Listen.
I want to defend Anthony.
Listen, I like entertaining players in the game, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to do it at the right time. I remember, I think that time when Richarlison did that one when I thought that was inappropriate. He just come on the pitch.
Oh, what, the keepy-ups?
Yeah, when he did that against Forest, I thought that was a bit... That was almost like a complete piss take out of the Forest players because you were beating them so badly. But I don't mind a little bit of the old, skill showboating and that. He said, I want to be entertained by some of these ballers.
I'll be honest, I don't have a problem with either one, the Richarlison or the Anthony one. Now, let me say, as Man United and Spurs players, I hate them. As general kind of what we get on the pitch, kind of, they've got that kind of, I don't know, I don't particularly like them, let's say, but I'm going to defend them on the 2 moments of skill they showed on the pitch. If what they did wound up the opposition and was considered showboating, is that necessarily a bad thing? If isn't that what all of football is about? Whether it's having the ball and trying to score lots of goals, and people could say, "Oh, a 3-0 Arsenal should have stopped." 5, you're taking the piss out of Forest. You should have only been I appreciate. Okay, well, goals add to goal difference and all that, but the point I'm making is, ultimately, you're not going out there to respect the opposition. You're going out there to score goals, play football, entertain, and they did some keepy-ups. If the other team want to do something about it because they don't like it, by all means do it. But I don't know why it creates this media storm that it's disrespectful and the manager won't be happy. The worst thing about what Anthony did was pass it off the pitch. That was the worst bit.
Have you seen the what was it? The no-look pass by that? No,
Emerson.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. Was that disrespectful?
He showboated. Disrespectful to everybody watching football. You know what I mean?
Okay, it was definitely disrespectful.
That
to
was absolutely shocking, man.
But why isn't that being talked about as what are you doing? No look pass, showboating. That's embarrassing. But he got it wrong. It looks embarrassing. We laugh at it. Move on. It's a bit of fun. I mean, it's not a bit of fun.
No, that was
okay.
For us, it was. For us, it was. If he was a Tottenham fan, they were fuming. Mr. Chicken Soup 101 says feels like Saliba. It feels like Saka has an undeserved rep as a diver. He doesn't dive, this kid. I don't know where they get that from. You done that one already. You done that one for the player who's fouled out for 5 minutes, says Sam Atala. So he was sort of, Oh, so if a player's fouled and he's out for 5 minutes, then 5-minute timeout like they do in hockey. Nah, I don't like that idea. Big Ash says, like Liverpool, we need to sell players to buy new ones. Tierney is an excellent player. The surplus right now. I'd take 30 mil for him. Would you? No. Why? I thought we wanted good squad depth. Why are we selling Tierney for? No, we want Tierney. Tierney's got a big part to play for Arsenal this season, right? So, why would you sell him for 30 million right now?
No, I mean, no. 30 million, no. Because I love Tierney.
That's what you're thinking about it.
No, but I think what there is to think about is good teams also know how to replenish, and
but it's not time to replenish him yet.
No, I agree. But look at Liverpool. It's slightly different because Coutinho wanted to leave and the money was ridiculous. But it's kind of a similar thing. There was a point where you thought they're not going to sell him, surely, but they sold. They still had Mane, Salah, and Van Dijk and all those players, but they sold him, got the right cash. Was Van Dijk there? I think pretty sure he was. And they, they went again, and so I'm not opposed to, selling players as long as you.
I'm not opposed to selling players, but not Kieran Tierney.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't
either. He's a very
but
important part of the Arsenal team, and why would we sell him? Just what? Because now we've got a couple of options at left back. No, he's a very important player.
Yeah.
Sadiq says, Son, gets more protection. He's well known for diving, but somehow referees are ready to blow the whistle. That's true. He gets more protection than Saka, I can tell you that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not. Yeah. I
does.
I believe you. I don't
there.
watch enough of just sort of Son himself, but yeah, Connor and Carl have it in for me in the comments. Oh.
Well, what do they say?
Oh, I don't know. They weren't. James sure does speak a lot without actually saying anything.
James, you know what it is, right? We're coming to what we've just moved in tomorrow. And by the way, happy Halloween if you celebrate all that rubbish, right? But we're moving into November.
Yeah.
Who is your player of the month for October?
It's going to have to be Matt Turner. Has he conceded a goal? No,
he hasn't.
Well, there you go. What more would you want? I think it's got to be Granit Xhaka, but you can make a very strong case for Ben White or Bukayo Saka.
Saka's been brilliant as well.
Saka's been immense.
In October, Saka scored the winning goal against Leeds, scored the winning goal penalty against Liverpool. He's had a great month.
Yeah, he and it was that North London derby where he seemed to kind of start getting back to his best. 2 goals against Liverpool, as you mentioned. The great goal against Leeds with his right foot. It's the way he takes that and how difficult the chance is.
And these are match-winning goals.
Yeah, exactly.
Match-winning goals.
You're right.
Frantisek says Ben White, the unsung hero.
Ben White's been exceptional.
That's a great shout. He's been brilliant.
Yeah.
He's been brilliant. Dan Martin says also got the winner against Bodo Glimt.
Yeah, very true. That might prove a really important goal.
Saka for me.
I'm going to give it to Granit Xhaka because I cannot. But Robbie, I'm not one who's going to sort of pretend I haven't said things that I've said. Okay, I was in a fan cam with you when he got sent off. I think against Burnley. Do you remember the red card? And I'm pretty sure I said something maybe after his red card at Anfield last season as well. There was a point where I thought, I don't get it. What does he give us that outweighs the bad? All these red cards, all these silly fouls, all these kind of moments that are unnecessary. And at best, we're getting a guy who's tepid and kind of just going through the motions. And yeah, he's still the ball. Yeah, he's committed. He cares. But what's he actually giving us? I was saying all those things. And I was so wrong. And when I say I was so wrong, I might have had a bit of a point at the time. But those who saw a player in him and said, no, he's giving us more and he's important, were absolutely spot on. And I didn't see it. You saw in All or Nothing kind of what he does behind the scenes and why he's so important there. He's not got the armband officially, but he is the captain. He absolutely is. And what he's now giving us in this 4-3-3 as a box-to-box runner, as a supporting act for Martinelli when he's doing everything he's doing out there, getting goals, getting assists. It's him who breaks beyond the defence to roll into Jesus before Nelson scores. But then what he does to get back defensively. And then when things are getting tough, with referees or whatever, or it gets a little bit, what's the word? Not controversial, what's the word? Confrontational with the opposition. He's there, but in the right way. I can't speak highly enough of his performances this month. Yeah. He's been our player of the season for me.
He's been brilliant. He's been brilliant. But this month, for me, is Saka. Name says Saka. Sports Gamer Boy says Xhaka. Ryan Lee's going for Saka. Guna Vettel, Saka. As I said, Frantisek says Ben White.
Nelson.
Uche says Nelson.
Sorry.
Matt Ben says I love Ben White. Obviously Kieran says Sambi Lukonga. Daniel Riley, Xhaka. Sushil, Xhaka. Yeah, it's very even. Agent E says Saka. Advanced 333 says, wow, James, that's honest of you. You've regained my respect. If you would like to, we're running out of time here on the show. Is that rain pouring down out there?
Robbie, I think we'll have to run the show another half hour because I'm not leaving.
Well, you got to walk all the way to Highbury Islington Station.
Yeah, great. Is that lift you're offering me?
Right. If we get to 1,000 likes before the end of this show, how long we got left? We've got about 3 minutes left, right? James will give us another one of his crackpot ideas on how to improve.
Oh, wow. What a reward.
How to improve the English Premier League, right? I'm sure you got another one in there somewhere.
Well, a 10-point head start for Arsenal would be Another I'd like to enforce.
Big Ash says, but Robbie, this is the guy who said to get rid of Tierney for 30 million. Would Tierney accept being a third choice left back? We might need to sell players worth 30 mil, and I'd rather him than Martinelli, Saka or Saliba. We should not be selling anybody right now, or thinking of selling any of those top line players. Kieran Tierney is going to be an important player for us in our squad from now to the end of the season. Do not sell. Yeah. How many nights we got?
I don't think anyone wants any more ideas.
Oh, is it like that? Nobody wants no more crap ideas.
I think you should have offered them something a little bit better. Let me ask you something before we end the show. Tell everyone about kind of, this is their behind the scenes. We could tell them a little bit about the Halloween stuff we filmed. It is actually the night of Halloween.
Oh yeah.
People are trick or treating on the streets.
People are tricking. Well, I don't know, in this rain, I'm hearing out there who's trick or treating out in that. But enough. It is Halloween today. Go and check out the videos that we did. We did one on AFTV, which was James and Turkish, and we did one over on DR Sports, which was me and Expressions. We had to walk through this haunted house. What was it? What was the place called again?
It's called The Howl.
The Howl.
Leighton Buzzard.
Up in Leighton Buzzard, and it was so funny. James, I didn't know you could swear so much. I mean, if you got the kids around, turn the sound down. I mean,
It was. I mean, the thing was, I warned them. I said, because it's my defense mechanism. My defense mechanism is to talk and swear. It's not, because I think maybe only 2 or 3 times did I actually like audibly, my thing is just to go around and go, fuck this.
Frightened even in one stage in it by the cameraman.
Yeah,
I mean that was a disgrace. Come on,
that was Jason.
The cameraman jumped out on you and frightened you. Come on,
can you believe it? Not only did they put us through a second base, right? Because that's what you don't know. Turkish breezed it. They looked at Turkish and went, "You found that way too easy." So we're gonna. By the way, that's just Turkish. Okay, anyone else would find that scary. You found that scary? That first one, no?
The first one. It's not. You know what? It's not that it was scary for me. It's just the bits that made me jump.
You handled it well.
The first part is like when they just jump out on you straight away. I was like, what the? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you know what's coming and it still makes you jump.
Yeah.
It's really weird. It's really weird.
You can even, sometimes I was going through, and then it'd be like once or twice, but I'd be like, someone's there, aren't they?
Yeah.
They'd jump and I'd still,
And Expressions, oh my God.
He was gold.
He said to me before he went in, he goes, I don't like these things, when you go in there, make you jump and all that. But I've got to give you the classic for me, right? It's because this guy, I saw him when he done your one. He tried to remain Mr. Super Cool Turkish. You know what I mean? Just walking through. Are you going to scare me up? Right? And then yesterday, on the watch along yesterday, he gets scared by a plastic mouse lowered down from the ceiling.
I need to rewatch this.
Have you not watched that?
No, I haven't seen
my God. Did you not see his reaction? Right, I've got a picture. Somebody sent me a picture earlier on of his reaction, right? And that was gold. This guy, he thinks he's the original gangster, the original Batman.
Oh, I've got it here. Okay, I found it.
Right? You got to see.
Can I play this out loud, can't I? Because it's our footage.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this expression.
No way.
Look at his expression on his face. Look at that.
It's so good.
Look at that. Right? This is the guy, right? You can't really see it there, I guess. So go and watch that. My man jumped.
They did it in the watch along.
In the watch along from a plastic mouse. Yeah, the big bad Turkish. It was absolutely hilarious. But listen,
he's coming for you all, by the way. Everyone involved. You're finished.
But no, it's brilliant, right? Make sure you go and check out those Halloween videos. They are really, really funny. And thank you very much to the guys from The Howl for having us down there. It was fantastic, man. Anyway, I think that's saying it. We're out, innit? Let us
know in the comments, though, your player of the month, genuinely. 9 games. The most we've had over the last 7-8 years in October has been 6. 9. It's a fair play. The team have come out 7-1-1. That's their record. That is really not bad at all. We're top of the league. For another week in a row, we can say that.
Yeah.
And guess what? While I know we're aspiring for the league, and there's bigger things to worry about now, I'm pretty sure, unless my maths is wrong, we will be going to the World Cup in the top 4.
Yeah.
And that's what people were talking about at the start of the season.
Yeah.
So with 2 games to spare, going to the World Cup.
I'd like to win those 2 games.
Of course, I'm not sitting here saying relax. Who cares now? Of course not.
2 big games. Chelsea away, Wolves away.
Well done.
Both places we won at last season.
Listen, if we get to February or March and we're still either 2 points ahead of City or 2 or 3 behind them, I promise you, we're not talking about top 4. We'll be talking about other things. Top 4, we know. So that's
keep it going, Arsenal. I'm enjoying my Mondays at the moment.
Yeah,
they're glorious. All right, just keep them going. But well done to the team. Well done to all you guys for supporting the team. And listen, we're going to be back tomorrow. I think Turkish is back tomorrow evening if he's not frightened enough, and he can get through the night. I don't think he's going to be getting much sleep after that plastic mouse dropped on his head. But he will be back tomorrow, so make sure you check that out here. But thanks for watching AFTV. Keep subscribing to the channel. I like the Ray Aviation. It's got like a mouse emoji there. Look.
Oh yeah.
Please, when Turkish is on tomorrow, Ray, I want you to spam the chat. Everybody, spam the chat with those mice emojis. I love that. Please don't forget, spam the chat tomorrow when Turkish is on with those mice emojis. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Joe, controlling everything. Big up to you, James, and we'll see you all tomorrow.